sun was barely up when old Farmer Briggs walked the fence line, boots sinking into the soft morning soil. The air was still and quiet. Too quiet, the kind that makes your skin prickle before your mind knows why. Rusty, his old sheepdog, trotted ahead, nose low, tail stiff, the way he always moved when something wasn't right. Briggs followed him past the cornfield, past the old oak tree split by lightning years ago, until Rusty suddenly froze, hackles rising. "What is it, boy?" Briggs whispered. Then he saw it. Near the base of the fence, tangled in thorns and dried grass, was a small wounded creature, something between a fox and a fawn, its fur mottled, its breathing shallow, its eyes reflecting something almost human. Briggs knelt slowly. The animal didn't run, it just stared at him, trembling. Rusty didn't growl, he didn't bark. Instead, he stepped closer and let out a low, morning whine, the sound he used to make when Mary was sick, the sound he hadn't made in years. Briggs felt his chest tighten. "Easy," he murmured, reaching forward. But the moment his hand neared the creature, Rusty moved, not to block him, not to attack, but to press his body against the animal as if shielding it. Briggs blinked. "Rusty, what in God's name are you doing?" The dog nudged the wounded creature gently, then looked up at Briggs with an expression he couldn't mistake, pleading. Rusty wanted Briggs to help it. Briggs lifted the small animal, expecting Rusty to panic, but the dog stayed close, guiding him back toward the barn with a careful, nervous urgency. Inside, Briggs laid the creature on a blanket. Its breathing was shaky, each breath a fragile thread keeping it alive. Rusty lay beside it, refusing to move. As Briggs cleaned the wounds, something strange happened. The creature reached out with a trembling paw, pressing it against Rusty's chest. Rusty closed his eyes and leaned into it, the way he used to lean into Mary's hand when she whispered to him. Briggs felt a cold shiver run down his spine. "Boy, how do you know this thing?" Rusty didn't look at him. He just kept his body pressed to the creature's side, as if trying to warm it, protect it, save it. Hours passed. Rain started tapping the metal roof, steady and gentle. Briggs nearly dozed off in his rocking chair when a faint glow, soft, warm, impossible, brushed the corner of his vision. He sat up. Rusty and the creature were both looking at him. The creature's eyes, moments ago dim with pain, were now bright, steady, knowing. It reached a paw toward Briggs, the same way Mary used to place her hand on his shoulder when she wanted him to feel safe. Briggs' breath hitched. No, that's not possible." The creature leaned into Rusty again. Rusty licked its head once, tender, familiar, like reuniting with someone he had loved long before Briggs ever knew. And then, just as quietly as it had appeared, the glow faded. The creature's eyes fluttered. It curled against Rusty, breathed one last soft breath, and went still. Rusty let out a long, broken whine and rested his head beside it. Briggs knelt, a lump in his throat he hadn't felt since the day Mary passed. "Boy, who was that?" Rusty didn't move, didn't look away. He just stared at the small, still body with the same grief Briggs had seen only once before. The night Mary died in his arms, when Rusty lay at her feet and refused to leave. Briggs realized the truth in a sharp, aching instant. Rusty hadn't recognized a creature. He had recognized a soul. One that meant something to him long before this moment. One that had found its way back wounded, fading because it trusted Rusty to bring it home. And Briggs, standing in the quiet barn with rain echoing off the roof, understood something that broke his heart open. Rusty hadn't been protecting a stranger. He'd been saying goodbye to someone only he remembered.